In the political heart of Europe, the EU Commission headquarters in Brussels, a minute's silence Wednesday to remember the 32 victims who died in the terror attacks on the city a year ago. But critics say security failures by the European Union have allowed terrorists to carry out attacks. Tony Smith is former Director General of Britain's Border Force.
There were significant lessons to be learnt both from Brussels and from Paris, and more recently from Berlin. And that is really about how good are the border agencies in those countries, or all the agencies, in collaborating with one another.
A March report written by the European Commission's Security Union Task Force and leaked to Britain's Guardian newspaper warns security services are unable to carry out basic checks like searching cross-national databases using biometric data such as fingerprints. The mastermind of the Paris attacks in 2015, Abdelhamid Abaoud, was the subject of an international arrest warrant, yet was able to travel from Belgium to Syria via Egypt in 2013 before returning to Europe.
So when you're looking at controlling people who are crossing the external frontier, some of whom are European passport holders, the officers there aren't getting the tools, the information and the data they need.
Anis Amri, who drove a truck into a Berlin Christmas market in December, killing 12 people, entered Germany from Italy via Switzerland, despite appearing on a terror suspect list.
Free movement within the EU of people, it's very easy to move around the EU with weapons, quite often undocumented.
The leaked EU report suggests officials are considering beefing up police checks within the passport-free Schengen zone. But there is political opposition. Swedish member of the European Parliament, Malin Björk, was in the Brussels airport when the bombers struck a year ago.
There is all this emphasis on militarized and surveillance-based security, and I think it's inefficient, and I think it's not long-term at all.
Many of the Brussels and Paris suspects lived in or operated from the Molenbeek district of Brussels. Belgian media reported Monday that police have uncovered 51 organisations there with suspected ties to terrorism.
We see that there are no longer any departures for Syria and that there are few returnees. The problem centers on people who are here in the municipality, and we keep an eye on these people.
Security experts say the current border systems are failing to tackle that homegrown terror threat. But in Europe there remains strong political support for freedom of movement, seen as one of the pillars of the European Union. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.